Alright, I'm back out here in the shop again for another episode. Working on this bad girl. But here's the thing. It's been a minute since I've been able to get out here. I've had some family things come up. I've had some other projects come up. Obviously, I still run the company stuff. So I got podcasts to edit and produce and upload and all that jazz. So I haven't been able to get back out here, on top of the garage door being broken in more than one way. So one of the downsides of that is you're going to see that we have automatic lights in the shop. And they're going to keep turning on and off because sometimes they won't see motion. So you might notice that on the floor. I'll talk about that later, probably not this time. What I'm going to do today is try to do some power tracing. So if you remember last time, I got no power to the chassis. So I'm going to make sure that there is power up to the box. I haven't been told, but I've done a little bit of research myself. And I found the 100 amp, if I recall correctly, meter fuse in that fuse box that should feed the chassis. So if that fuse is blown, which is possible, that could be part of the problems. So I'm going to grab my meter, I'm going to move the camera around, do all kinds of things, and once again, try to get power to this thing. Hopefully the camera batteries treat me a little nicer this time too. This is a shot that you're familiar with now. Alright, got my meter. My pockets are rattling for camera batteries. So I'm going to get the meter plugged in. The battery itself has been on a tender the whole time, so it should not be dead. We're just going to start from the source voltage. We're going to start from the source and we're going to go from there and set this to volts, the DC. Currently I've got like 300 some odd millivolts floating around my head. Check this once again. Oh. What? That was weird. The voltage is all over the place. That's for the tender. Okay, so we're going to have voltage. It's going to be bouncing around, which is fine. But it went from like high 14s to like mid 11s. Whatever. So now that we know what our source voltage is like, what we're going to have to figure out is where does that stop. So I'm going to start with the end of that cable and go from there. I don't remember if I still have a headlight out here or not, but I'm definitely going to need one. That'll work. I think I brought the headlights inside. I don't think I brought out my new one. If I move this box, that might help the lighting a bit. Headlight would really be nice right now. Oh, yeah, buddy. Okay, so I got a different headlight out here right now. The other one's on charge, so not that I really use them that often for them to like stay on charge all the time. But so this one's probably going to die in the middle of me using it, but whatever. I guess we'll find out. Let's see. There we go. These headlights are great. There's a random exposed wire there that comes out of the harness. Okay. Alright, so we're going to find a ground. That fender is missing 2 screws. Nope. Yes? No? Huh. Alright. So we're going to go to here. Doesn't matter, just anywhere on that block. And then raw metal somewhere. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there goes that. That's going to happen. Alright, I might need to put my gator clips on here. This is a ground here. Block. Ooh. Nothing. So it is touching. Let me touch the wire. Ooh, interesting. So that wire is not powered. That may be one problem. But here's the problem with that problem. I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I know how. So I'm going to have to try to... Unless that main giant fuse thing is popped too. That would be insane. I'm going to check that. How cool do I look? Oh god. That looks pretty cooked. It's crispy. So, there's a problem there. I need to find one of those. I have my phone. Let's do some research. DB-Link ANL 250 amp fuse. That's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and order that, and we'll go from there. You remember that good old-fashioned saying, keep it simple, stupid? Kiss your cars, don't make them complicated? Well, that's it. Should have checked the fuses. I just assumed that the main chassis fuse would be fine. You don't expect to have a 250 amp fuse pop. However, considering some stuff was loosely connected and disconnected and all that over time with it being moved around and whatnot, it's possible that you just have a straight up short. Hopefully that fuse protected things, because that could cook everything depending on where that power decided to go to. So you'll see me in a moment. I'll be back here in a few days with a fuse and possibly some other parts to put on here in the meantime. Alright guys, so what was a blip for you has been like 2 weeks or so for me. I have the part ordered that I think we need, and a lot has gone down. You saw the video I released about the work truck, and what came out just before this will be me getting the garage door more functional, lubed up, more put together in one piece, because apparently they're made extremely on a budget, which is absolutely absurd to me. But in that time, I also had kind of the realization that I'm probably recording this volume way too loud, but I'm just going to adjust a little bit. Alright, turn it down a little bit. Hopefully it sounds a little better. So I had the realization that I wasn't really following through with the intentions on this whole idea in their entirety. So I want to explain how I got to this part. Okay. This is a fuse. It is an inline heavy-duty fuse. And the concept behind getting here was, we know the battery power. We already knew the power at the battery was good. It was fully charged. We checked that previously. But we weren't getting power anywhere else. So what you want to do is start going backwards in the circuit from where your problems are, or you can start where the power is and go to where it stops. I, for whatever reason, decided to kind of go in the middle. Not always the best idea. because you don't know necessarily if you need to go forward or back all the time. So I guess I mostly went from known good power and forward because I knew the battery was good. What we did was we checked at the end of the cable from the battery, saw there's no voltage available there, so there's no flow there, there's no power available. So in doing so, we moved back, and the only other thing to my knowledge that is in that circuit was this fuse. And we took a look at this fuse in the little container thing that it's in, and it's burnt, like very, very burnt. And I'll get you a close-up of that once we pull it out. But that's basically what we're doing today. So what I'm going to do is completely isolate the fuse. So I'm going to pull both terminals off the battery. There will be no live ground, no live power. We're going to replace this, and then we're going to hook the battery up, make sure nothing's touching that shouldn't be touching, and see if it pops again. If this pops again, it's probably going to be loud because this thing is massive. Absolutely massive. So I'm going to pull you over there. I'll try to find some better angles for you. I don't have a camera guy, so I'm doing the best I can with my tripod. Get some good angles and replace this fuse, which should then lead us to having power to that power distribution block within the engine bay, where all the fuses and relays and things are. And it might also behoove me, I think I might just do this to, so I don't think there's anything bad up front, right? There's a lot of loose connectors, whatever, but they're all fused and protected. So I'm going to leave that hooked up. I'm just going to replace this. And when I reconnect the terminals, I wish I had more than one camera. I might have my phone out in the back and stick this one up front to see if anything crazy happens. Yeah, let's do that. Let's swap out this fuse, and then we're going to go from there and see if something turns into a bomb. So I'm just going to pull you over this way. And then I'm going to shrink up the tripod, see if I can get you to stand up in the car. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can pull this off. Don't need that at the moment. That's just the battery tender. And then we're gonna pull these off, which are both Allen keys. Alright, fits that one. Does not fit that one. So we'll go ahead and pull the negative off. Isolate that with this foam here. No, I do go slightly bigger in the hex keys, but that one fits. Alright, we are now completely isolated from the battery. Now, to pull this out, those are little baby Phillips. Okay. Alright. I'm just going to grab a little baby screwdriver. If this one doesn't work, then I'm just going to have to use my... Okay, it's working. I mean, yes, this is a stubby screwdriver, but the actual tip itself is pretty thick. I don't know if those are captive or not. With the expense of this stuff, I would assume they are, but hell, I don't know. Nope, they come all the way up. Ripping people off here. Why would these not be captive? Now I'm not detaching this unit from the cable. I'm just pulling the lid off to replace the fuse itself. in between the 2 points here. And I'm assuming, since it's all from a company called DB Link, I'm assuming this is more designed for audio systems. DBs for decibels. But I suppose if you just want a obnoxiously large inline main fuse, this is a way to go about it. Seems to be of substantial quality, but I don't know. I don't really get into car audio stuff really at all. If it works, I'm okay with it. Alright, now this should come off. Alright, and now gotta get these giant nuts off of here. Same size as positive? No, why would it be so easy? Let's try same size as negative. Yeah. Pop that. Pop that. Okay. That. Focus. 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 That is a blown fuse. Like, it's actually, the two pieces are wiggly now. So, let's put in a new one. So unless I severely missed something in this circuit, we should be Gucci. Boom. Slide it in, snug her up. 250 amps is a lot. I mean, that's just straight up battery juice to ground, nothing in between. Which is probably what happened somehow. I wasn't around for the entirety of the life of this vehicle, so only so much I can go off of, And it was that easy to change this fuse. Now it's, more difficult than your standard little square fuse, but usually these main body fuses like this are a fusible link sort of deal, to where it's embedded within the harness. So comparing this to that, this is far superior. So now in theory, based on what I chatted about earlier, we should have a solid connection straight through from the battery to the fuse box up there. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we have power to the car. Because no matter how much research I did into it, I didn't really find the specific or exact answer to the question of how power runs through this. Looking up a wiring diagram, it seemed to not have to go through the engine harness. So I don't rightly know how accurate all this information is I'm finding, judging off of Nissan's wiring diagrams. So it feels like this is gasketed in some way, so we don't have to go super crazy on tightening it down. You want it to be snug, but you don't want to go too crazy. Then you can mess up the gasket, and, well, that's just not a good time. Alright, new fuse is in. So the next step back here for me is to connect the terminals. That means you're going to come up front and watch the engine bay for me. And I'm going to pull my phone out and record the back and kind of picture side by side this and see what happens. I need you to promise me that you're going to be paying attention so you can let me know if anything goes crazy up here, okay? Promise? Okay, so I'm going to go back and pull my phone out, and I'm going to record what's going on back there. I'm not going to go too crazy here. What I'm going to do positive on. That's okay for now, it's connected. And then the negative, see what happens. No smoke, no boom back here. How's it going up front there? No smoke, no boom. Fantastic. So now I'm going to tighten up the terminals back here and see if maybe the car has power. God damn it. Careful with electrical metal. Just zinged up my wrench and myself. I pooped a little. So now, actually before I do that, I'm gonna grab the meter again and see if we actually have power to the end of that cable. Boom, voltage. Outstanding. Progress has been made. And I actually left the keys inside, so I'm gonna go grab those. Keys acquired. Here we go. No door chime. Nothing. And nothing.